has anyone pulled away from you? Like when you went to touch
No,
them?
no, because I don't just go and grab them. It's a very decent, gentle touch, just to bring them back to the situation on a different level of
Mhm,
their being.
mhm,
And it's not even in a manipulative way that I'm thinking about like how do I touch this person now to bring her or him back into the situation. It's very intuitive.
mhm. I
Yeah.
gotta be. Now I gotta be careful. I don't know.
This is not an interview. There is no format. This is simply a conversation about life.
I mean, I have this one friend that I'm traveling with sometimes, and he's initiating some of my trips just by inviting me to places. Like last winter, he was in Mexico. I was in Germany waiting for jobs to be confirmed or not to be confirmed. Was shortly before lockdown. He was like, "Hey, I'm in Mexico. Would you like to come?"
Mm,
And I just took his invitation. And with that person, I mean, we have a very long friendship, but there's always obstacles somehow. There's so many things that we do so differently that it's never easy to travel with them as well. But at the same time, we always resolve these problems and end up being friends still, even after going through shit.
yeah.
But you really have to choose carefully
Mhm,
for a travel mate. At least that's what it's like for me, because you really get to know each other. And I think it's good to keep some space in between, at least for me, and other people, because it just keeps the friendship alive and
what do you
just
mean by space?
mm, for me, when I'm too close with people, I start be losing interest in them.
Mm,
And just by getting too close to them and getting to know them too well, that magic, there's no space for the magic. And it's not
mm,
related to romance, with girls, with boys, with everyone, no matter who it is. I just need this little bit of extra space for the spark.
mhm. Yeah.
Otherwise,
See, this is where the issue I think is going to always come, because as soon as someone can feel that you want to keep that distance, then they're going to want to come closer to you just because they feel like, she's, you know what I mean? She's slipping away. So now I got to go, maybe you should just hug them all the time and be like, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, relax, and keep some distance from you that way. You might have to try a different tactic, you know?
okay, interesting. And I never thought about it that way. Um, I don't know if hugging will resolve the situation.
Well, I had this roommate back in Montreal, and she was like, I don't know if she was actually joking, and she was like, yeah, if I have like tension with someone or someone starts liking me too much, I just like sleep with them and then make them think I'm in love with them, and then they back off real easy. Like,
Wow,
yeah, yeah.
that sounds like a tactic that I would never use.
Well, hopefully you never get into a point where you have to use this tactic
Yeah,
anyway, right?
yeah.
So
No, but what's actually working, what is actually working, I don't know if you ever tried that, but when you're fighting with someone, just touching the person, just touching the upper arm or any part. And somehow that is reestablishing a different connection. And it's so much easier to fix whatever you are fighting about.
yeah. No, but this is how you use this. If you use your magic guru cult leader, that's that power. That's how you touch them. And you're like, I'm taking a little of your soul right now, so you better calm down. And then they relax. Could be that.
I think it works for everyone.
No, okay, all right, all right. So you touch them. Yeah, I can see how this works. Like you touch them,
Yeah.
and it kind of changes the vibe pretty immediately,
Yeah.
actually. You know, or has anyone
and
pulled
also,
the? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it also brings it back into your body, because especially for me, you asking me this, if I ever get upset, of course I do. And when I'm upset, I'm not in here, I'm more, I don't know, somewhere, all around.
Mhm.
And just this gentle touch is bringing me back here and makes it much more accessible.
All right. So, does someone do this to you, or are you doing it to someone else, or both?
Either way,
Yeah. And
either way, yeah.
has anyone pulled away from you, like when you went to touch
No,
them?
no, because I don't just go and grab them. It's a very decent, gentle touch, just to bring them back to the situation on a different level of their being.
Mhm.
And it's not even in a manipulative way that I'm thinking about, like, how do I touch this person now to bring her or him back into the situation. It's very intuitive.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
gotta be. I gotta be careful. I don't know. Yeah. I don't. I wouldn't say it's. Yeah. I guess it's not. I wouldn't. Yeah. Maybe it's not a manipulation, but it's definitely something that you could consciously do if you wanted to. Because now that I think about it, yeah, like this totally makes sense. If someone is arguing with me, I might just, you know, touch them and know that this is what I would do in order to calm down the situation.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Would you call that a manipulation or?
I mean, we are manipulating all the time with everything we do. Just
Mhm,
because I don't tell you everything about myself, that's how I'm already manipulating you.
mhm,
Because, you know,
mhm.
so you can call it whatever you want, but this is what we are. We are manipulative. Oh my God. Now I got my tongue knotted. Manipulative
Mhm.
beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I
And
think. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. And.
and no matter how aware we are, this is just what we do, and it's just how we interact. It's just just human behavior, manipulating all the time.
Because I mean, I think once you start seeing how someone is going to react to something that you do, then if it happens enough times, then you know that you can do this if you needed to, or like you kind of know, even if you're not actively doing it. I think like subconsciously you would know that oh, if I start crying, they're
Hmm.
gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna, because this is what kids do, right? I don't know if they know. I guess they know to cry is going to make something happen.
Hmm.
So sometimes they will just start crying. Like, let's take the shortcut. I don't want to ask for it. I'm just gonna cry and get what I
Yeah,
need. Right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but just by becoming aware of that behavior, we can also break these patterns. So if I would have a child and that child would cry because it wanted to have chocolate, and I would give it chocolate every time it was crying, I would support that behavior.
Yeah, right, right.
If I would stop feeding the kid chocolate once it started crying,
Mhm,
I would also change its behavior.
mhm,
And that's manipulation as well, but it's
mhm.
also the way how we change behavior, improve our relations, and just improve everyday life.
Okay.
So I wouldn't even consider it negative.
Right, 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 right. And so that's with children. Now, what's happening with the adults?
With pattern interruption or with manipulation.
To me, these are kind of similar things. I mean,
Yeah,
don't you think?
yeah. But this is also like, at least I manipulate myself
Hmm.
with pattern interruptions just by becoming aware of them and
Hmm.
changing them. That's also manipulation.
Hmm.
And I think it can be something very friendly to do
Nice.
to me and to others. And just, if I don't do it without letting the other one know, but just,
Hmm.
telling the other one about that behavior or about that habit,
Hmm.
and just offering to get out of it, for
Mhm.
instance.
Uh-huh. So okay, so has anyone said this to you? Like, yeah, you doing the arm touching thing. Like, don't try to touch my arm and calm it down. Like, does anyone ever say this to you?
It happened other way around, that somebody asked me to touch him when we're in a fight situation in order to bring that person back to the situation, and that's how I discovered it.
Mm,
For that, I did it, just by accident sometimes.
mhm,
And since I became aware of it, I started using it as a tool.
mm. See, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Interesting. 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 Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself a little bit, but like, yeah, it's you're a really interesting person, actually. I would have to say.